An Indianapolis TV station has come up with its calling a surprising report about one of the guys who was recently arrested for raping, robbing, and killing the pregnant wife of an Indianapolis pastor. There are two ways they could have done this story. They chose one way. Why don't we check out the video, and then we'll see what they could and should have reported.
Only on RTV6, a surprising new discovery about murder suspect Jalen Watson. Up until his arrest, he had been working closely in a police and Department of Correction program to get his life back on track. RTV6's Jack Reinhardt joins us live from the Marion County Jail tonight with a story you will see only on RTV6. Jack.
21-year-old Jalen Watson was officially served here today at the Marion County Jail with his notice of a parole violation. His arrest for murder surprised even his police and parole officers. 21-year-old Jalen Watson was considered high risk to reoffend. Only 6 days after he allegedly robbed and helped kill Amanda Blackburn, he kept his regular appointment with his parole officers.
We had just saw him Monday, the 16th afterwards. And I had no indication of what had taken place. So yeah, he'd had some dirty drug tests, but overall I think he seemed genuine in his efforts to want to do things right.
In February of 2012, police arrested then 17-year-old Jalen Watson and 3 other suspected gang members for burglarizing this far northwest side apartment. Watson pleaded guilty to the burglary and was given a 2-year prison sentence and 2 years of probation. Upon his release from the Department of Correction, Watson was enrolled in the Impact Program, a joint initiative by Metropolitan and the Parole Department to help high-risk offenders transition back to work, into housing, and a crime-free lifestyle. But Watson violated his work release agreement, failed 2 drug tests, including one 6 days after the Blackburn murder. On Thursday, Metro Police arrested Watson and 2 other co-defendants at this far northeast side apartment complex. Watson was held by police on his parole violation until yesterday, when the Marion County prosecutor charged him with murder.
Unfortunately, this is the part of the Impact Program, the other side of it. Our initial thought is we're trying to help these guys try to break down any barriers that keep them, from committing new crimes, going back, causing a recidivism hit. Unfortunately, though, this is the other side.
Now, police describe Jalen Watson as the typical parolee with the typical setbacks. They say he seemed to sincerely want to turn his life around until he turned so many other lives upside down.
We just saw a story about a catastrophic failure of a government program that resulted in the rape, robbery, and murder of a young pregnant woman in Indianapolis. Catastrophic failure. Did you hear anybody talk about how often these programs fail? Did you hear anybody talk about how, despite the best efforts of the people behind these programs and their magical thinking, did you hear anybody say that they're going back to prison 67, 80, 90% of the times? Did you hear anybody say that means that's not an accident and, this isn't just something that just kind of happened? The reporter made a perfunctory reference to the victim in this crime, the pregnant woman who was raped, robbed, and killed. But other than that, it was all focused on the predator. How many stories do we see like that? Featuring the family. Says he was a good boy. Oh, he has a nice little, high school graduation cap on. He was a gentle giant. Wouldn't hurt anybody. It's all a lie. We know these re-entry programs are guaranteed to fail. Yet reporters keep failing to report that. And so we catch these people doing these unbelievably horrific things. And then we regularly release them back into the population like a wolf in a corral full of sheep. And the next day when they go out there and see there's some sheep missing or sheep dead, they always act surprised. Well, we don't have to be surprised. That's why I want you to like this video, share it, subscribe to this channel, read Don't Make the Black Kids Angry. We're fighting the greatest lie of our generation, the myth of black victimization. Here we see it again. This guy who killed this woman was just kind of a victim of a crappy system who didn't take good enough care of him. That's why I make these videos. That's why I wrote Don't Make the Black Kids Angry. And all I know right now is the only way we can fight this big lie is with the truth.